Welcome to this comprehensive video on pest and disease management in cannabis cultivation. Today, we dive into the essential knowledge and practices that every grower should have to identify and prevent common pests and diseases in their cannabis crops. By understanding these challenges and implementing proactive measures, we can ensure the health and success of our plants. Understanding the impact. Pest and disease management is a critical aspect of cannabis cultivation. Pests such as aphids, spider mites, whiteflies, thrips, fungus gnats, and caterpillars, as well as diseases like powdery mildew, bud rot, gray mold, root rot, and fusarium wilt, can devastate our crops if left unchecked. It is essential to familiarize ourselves with the signs and symptoms of these adversaries to take early action and prevent significant damage. Identifying common pests. Let's start by discussing some of the most common pests that can infest cannabis plants and the signs that indicate their presence. Aphids, tiny insects that feed on plant sap, can cause leaf curling, yellowing, and the presence of sticky residue called honeydew. Spider mites, barely visible to the naked eye, leave tiny webs and cause yellow spots and stippling on leaves. Whiteflies, small flying insects, cluster on the underside of leaves and leave a sticky substance called honeydew. Thrips, slender insects, cause silver or bronze speckling on leaves and may leave black droppings. Fungus gnats are small flies that thrive in moist soil, and their larvae feed on plant roots. Caterpillars, the larvae of moths or butterflies, chew on leaves, leaving irregular holes and damage. Preventing pest infestations. Prevention is key to keeping pests at bay. Here are some fundamental strategies for preventing pest infestations. Cleanliness and sanitation. Maintaining a clean and organized growing environment helps deter pests. Remove dead plant material, clean equipment regularly, and keep the area free of debris. Quarantine and inspection. Before introducing new plants into your grow space, isolate them for a period to ensure they are pest-free. Thoroughly inspect plants for signs of pests or diseases to avoid introducing infestations to healthy crops. Airflow and ventilation. Proper airflow and ventilation are crucial for preventing pests. Ensure adequate air circulation in your grow area to make it less attractive to pests. Integrated pest management, IPM. Adopt an IPM approach, combining various pest control techniques. This includes cultural practices like pruning and removing infected plant parts, as well as using biological controls such as beneficial insects that prey on pests. Pesticides should be used as a last resort and only when necessary. Managing pest infestations. In some cases, despite our best efforts, pests may still infest our plants. It is important to act swiftly and effectively to minimize damage. Biological controls. Introduce beneficial insects like ladybugs, lakewings, or predatory mites that feed on common pests. They act as natural predators, keeping pest populations in check. Organic pest control. Utilize organic and natural methods of pest control. Neem oil, insecticidal soaps, or botanical extracts can be effective against pests while minimizing harm to the environment. Targeted pesticides. If infestations become severe and other methods fail, targeted and selective pesticide use may be necessary. Choose products specifically formulated for cannabis cultivation and follow instructions and legal regulations strictly. Understanding and managing diseases. Apart from pests, diseases can also pose a significant threat to cannabis plants. Common cannabis diseases include powdery mildew, bud rot, gray mold, root rot, and fusarium wilt. Recognizing the signs and symptoms is crucial for timely intervention. Powdery mildew, a white powdery substance on leaves, stems, and buds, along with yellowing and curling of leaves. Bud rot, botrytis, brown decaying patches on buds with a musty smell, often accompanied by fuzzy gray or brown mold. Gray mold, grayish-brown fuzzy mold that appears on flowers, leaves, and stems. Root rot, wilting, yellowing, and stunted growth, often accompanied by a foul odor, can indicate root rot caused by overwatering or poor drainage. Fusarium wilt, yellowing, wilting, and eventual death of the plant, accompanied by browning and necrosis of the vascular tissue. Prevention and management of diseases. To prevent diseases in your cannabis crop, follow these guidelines. Sanitation and hygiene. Keep your growing area clean, remove dead plant material, and disinfect equipment to minimize disease spread. Proper air circulation. Maintain good airflow and ventilation to reduce humidity levels and prevent the formation of an ideal environment for disease development. Watering practices. Avoid overwatering, as it can create conditions conducive to disease. Provide proper drainage and water your plants at the base, avoiding wetting the foliage excessively. Resistant cultivars. Consider growing cannabis strains known for their resistance to specific diseases. This can help minimize the risk of infection. Fungicides and disease management. When diseases strike, fungicides formulated for cannabis cultivation may be necessary. Follow label instructions carefully and use them as a last resort. In conclusion, managing pests and diseases in cannabis cultivation is a vital responsibility for every grower. By understanding the signs, implementing preventive measures, and using appropriate control methods, we can protect our cannabis crops and ensure healthy yields. Stay vigilant, observe your plants regularly, and act promptly if pests or diseases are detected. With knowledge, diligence, and proactive practices, we can cultivate healthy, thriving cannabis plants. Happy growing!